We talk about freedoms. We're so blessed to live in Canada, to live in Ontario, and we don't often talk enough about responsibility. We have a collective responsibility to the health and well-being of our neighbors, of our friends. You answered that call. You stood up in a responsible manner to help your neighbors get vaccinated, to help answer the call that came worldwide, a call that came across Ontario to get jabs in arms. And as your local member of provincial parliament, when I look around, I see community leaders, but really, as a fellow community member, I draw inspiration from all of you. But again, thank you for being you, thank you for answering your call, and for helping in what is the most incredible vaccine effort we've seen across Ontario. Thank you.
Where could we go for the last 28 weeks and actually talk to so many people in one day? There's no better feeling than going home after a shift knowing that you have helped someone feel better and safer. I look forward to each week to see my name on the schedule for one shift, maybe 3, knowing that I have a reason to get out of the house, plus to do something helpful and productive. My grandkids put it into perspective for me. They would ask, would I come over for a visit after I finished my work? I have been retired for 8 years, but to them, this was my new job. And I can honestly say it's been the best and most rewarding job I have ever had. We have had a very diverse group of volunteers: doctors, lawyers, bankers, teachers, housewives, retirees, and everything in between. They could be 80 plus or 20 plus, but everyone brought something special to this clinic. I'm sure we will all have learned something new in the last 28 weeks of work. Our community is a better place to be because of our 500 plus volunteers. I have been fortunate enough to be able to work with 6 of my own family members, plus so many old and new friends. There they are. The last 28 weeks have been the most rewarding time of my life, and I will wear my purple shirt with pride. I have to thank Gordley and his amazing team for letting me be a part of the COVID vaccine volunteer team. Thank you.
I'm good with that, probably. It's not that much shorter than me. My name is Shelley. Some of you know me. Some of you may have heard of me. How's it going up there? I was here the very first day of this clinic. I was here at 9 o'clock in the morning when that very first shot went in an arm, and this place erupted in people catcalling, clapping, woo-hooing. It was an incredibly touching moment. There were tears, there was laughter, there was jumping, and it was the beginning of an amazing journey. And that journey, as Jan said, for 28 weeks has just become better and better and better. Earlier on, we sort of around the middle of this, we started to get some people who weren't happy, some people from out of our area who thought it was their right to barge in here. They could walk in, they could get their shots, they could do all kinds of things. We did nothing but treat them with kindness and respect. Whether we were working with NHH or with HKPR, we were able to talk to them. We were able to tell them, these are the rules we must follow. Not set by us, not even enforced by us, but because we have to follow them, we couldn't honor their wishes or demands. So I took it upon myself to start to let Gord know, here's some of the things that happened this week, both in the CCC and on some of the mobile clinics. As a mobile clinic person, I not only went out into different communities, But I trained a group of, I want to say women, but we had two guys. We had two guys, so the Bond girls and guys came into existence. We went to pharmacies. We went to Northumberland Family Health Team at the request of Adrian. Yo, Adrian! We were all over the place at Colburn, at Brighton. We just had a blast. So every week I wanted to let Gord Lay know there's some things that happened that may not have been kosher, or you may hear those stories. But let me tell you what was good about that meeting. Let me tell you about that girl who got her first shot because she just went out of the hospital, and she showed up 5 minutes after the clinic was over, and there were still 2 people in line. 2 people. We had 2 shots left, we thought. Okay, Joanne, we thought. We had 1 left. Those 2 gave up their second shots for that woman to get her first. It was amazing. We watched all kinds of people. Just the kindness was overwhelming. And at the end of every day, I began to say to Gord, have I told you lately how much I love my job? Well, we started publishing them. I'm sure some of you have read them in the weekly newsletter. And I can't say with more conviction today, have I told you lately how much I love my job? It's amazing, amazing to me. With you guys doing this amazing work, you make it amazing. The people we deal with make it amazing. It brings me to tears some days because I see the goodness in humanity. I see how kind people can be. And I was worried. I was so worried that this was going to affect my family, going to affect the time I spend with my grandkids. Because anybody who knows me knows that being a meanie is my #1 thing. My grandkids cherish their meanie time, their meanie Thursdays, their cousin days. And I've had to cancel a couple of times. And I remember one teacher said to one of my youngest grandkids, well, what is it that your meanie does? And he said, well, I'm not really sure. But she loves it. She loves it. She tells us all the time how much she loves her job. And that's what I want to instill in my grandkids, in the next generation. Because what you are doing is historic. It hasn't happened in our generation. It probably won't happen again in our children's or our grandchildren's generation. You have made the most amazing difference in people's lives. And from my perspective, and I know many of you share this, it's made the most amazing difference in my life. The good, the bad, and the indifference, that's what it means. So, thank you. Thank all of you. Okay. We said to Scott and Gord, if we get a little too long, just pull a hook and you can hook us out here. But we do have some stories. Just a lottery. You get your shot today. Can you be here? Wow. They were here in a minute. But what a thrill for us too. Said, I'll call that one. I'll call that one. It was a very
chill. I knew you would look at now. It is my pleasure to ask Deputy Warden Andy Martin, the County Representative, to say a few words.
Important tool in our toolkit right now that really I think words can't describe what an important contribution you've made. I wanted to acknowledge both Gord Lay and Paul Allen for, in particular, their efforts in collaborating with the health unit, in their patience with us, in all of their, I think, their commitment and drive to continue to push this forward. We truly appreciate it. There's a couple of things that have stood out to me about the volunteers that have supported this effort. The professionalism, the dedication, the coordination, and the spirit. I think certainly anytime I visited the clinic, the energy that was in each of those rooms, even still to this day, is so positive. And so I think as volunteers to bring that spirit in and bring that energy in is probably more than showing anybody kind of where to go, what chair to sit in. But that's what is passed along, and that's what people remember about the clinic, other than the meal, of course. So thank you for bringing that. On behalf of the health unit, I have two things that I'd like to present today. So the first is to the town co-workers. So I'd like to ask Mayor Anderson to come up. On behalf of Halifax Board of Primary District Health Unit, we'd like to give you this plaque to represent and acknowledge all of the contributions and hard work of the Rotary Club, its volunteers in helping us to respond to this pandemic. Thank you.
And clinic numbers started declining through the month of August. The clinic was moved from the arena to the gymnasium. On August 30th, the mass immunization clinic at the CCC was shut down, and hopefully for good. With the onset of September, we began to see provincial numbers on the rise again. The fourth wave was upon us. The yet unvaccinated were now looking for vaccines. To avoid the Delta variant, to meet the demand, the health unit began a series of pop-up clinics throughout the county. To date, there have been 19 that we've been involved with, and we expect to see more through the month of October.